Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. It's tough to get one over on Young and Restless fans, but the mystery surrounding Alan's psychotic behavior is definitely a story that's left us with more questions than answers. The truth. Well, let's just say it may be more outrageous than what you've probably been thinking. We suspected a while back that Alan was his presumed dead twin, Martin, and we certainly felt justified when it was revealed that he was the maniac who kidnapped Sharon and Phyllis and held them captive in an abandoned mental clinic. What a shocker to learn that Tracy's brand new fiancé was the freak who was experimenting on the locked-up ladies as though they were lab rats. This definitely had to be Martin, but what if the truth is even more shocking than Martin having lived after the fall from the balcony and taking on his brother's identity? What if the person who committed this insane crime really is Alan? It seems impossible, but it's not like we ever really knew him that well. Alan could have been just as evil as his twin all along, and no one realized it. What a mind-boggler it would be to discover that this man was so effortlessly able to integrate himself into the lives of the Abbotts and act as a sane, respected psychologist without anyone being any the wiser conversely. Alan may not have been bad all along. Much was made of his guilt over his twin's tragic death and his involvement in it. Perhaps the good doctor simply snapped at some point after the fall. This could mean that Alan took on his late brother's worst traits in some kind of twist. Either he is experiencing some sort of psychosis or has taken on an alternate personality much like Ashley. Whether Alan is Alan or Martin, this storyline has definitely kept us all guessing and speculating, and there's every chance the truth will prove to be yet another bizarre twist in this tale. Do you think Alan is Alan or Martin? Vote for decades. The Young and the Restless has captivated audiences with its intricate storytelling, dramatic twists, and deeply compelling characters. But few characters have generated as much mystery and speculation as Alan, a name that at first glance might not even ring a bell for the average viewer. And yet, hidden in the shadows of Geno City's most notorious figures, Alan's story is one of the strangest, most unpredictable, and downright bizarre tales ever connected to the long-running soap opera. Who was Alan? Why do so few people remember him? And what shocking truth about his past could change everything we thought we knew about the Young and the Restless? Buckle up, because this mystery goes deeper than anyone could have imagined. The forgotten character who never existed. Or did he? Alan isn't exactly a household name among Young and Restless fans. He wasn't one of the iconic figures like Victor Newman or Catherine Chancellor, and there are no explosive love triangles or bitter rivalries attached to him, at least, not in the way you might expect. That's because, officially, Alan never existed. Or at least that's what the show's official records claim. There's no mention of an Alan in the archives, no credited actors, no dramatic storylines to revisit. And yet, whispers of Alan's presence have persisted for years, with some fans swearing they remember him in scenes that have long since disappeared from reruns or streaming services. So who was Alan? Was he a fever dream shared by devoted fans? A Mandela Effect oddity that somehow wormed its way into soap opera lore? Or is there a deeper, stranger truth behind his existence? The Vanishing Act. How Alan was erased from Young and Restless history. The first known mention of Alan appeared in an old Young and the Restless forum post from 2002. A user going by the name SoapFan77 wrote a cryptic message. Does anyone remember Alan? He was around for a short time in the late 80s. Early 90s, I think. He had a storyline with Nikki, but they never really explained what happened to him. One day, he was just gone. The post didn't gain much attention at the time, But in the years that followed, more and more fans started coming forward with similar memories. Some claimed Alan was a doctor who briefly worked at Genoa City Memorial. Others insisted he was a businessman involved in shady dealings with Victor Newman. A few even suggested he had a connection to the infamous Sheila Carter, though those claims were harder to substantiate. But here's where things get really strange. There is no official record of Alan in any Young and the Restless script, credit list, or storyline summary. No one from the cast or crew has ever publicly acknowledged his existence. It's as if he was wiped from the show entirely, leaving only fragments of memory behind. So how could so many people remember him? And why would the show go to such lengths to erase any trace of his character? The conspiracy. Was Alan part of a lost storyline that CBS buried? One theory that has gained traction over the years is that Alan was part of a controversial storyline that the Young and the Restless ultimately decided to bury. Soap operas have a long history of scrapping plots that don't test well with audiences or that draw backlash from fans. But usually, traces of those abandoned storylines still exist in script leaks or unofficial summaries. With Alan, however, it's different. If he was indeed part of a scrap storyline, why does it seem like his very presence was erased from the show's history? Some fans have speculated that CBS may have pulled an extreme measure, retroactively editing him out of episodes that originally aired. Could Alan's storyline have been so controversial that it warranted such a drastic move? There's one tantalizing clue that might support this theory. An old TV guide listing from 1989. The listing describes an episode in which Nikki makes a shocking discovery about a man from her past. The episode itself is still available to watch, but in the current version, no such storyline occurs. Instead, it focuses on a completely different subplot. If Alan was meant to be part of that story, it would mean someone deliberately edited him out. The wildest theories. Was Alan a ghost, a clone, or something even weirder? When a character mysteriously disappears from a soap opera, the simplest explanation is usually that the actor left the show or the storyline was scrapped. But in Alan's case, the utter lack of evidence has led to some of the most bizarre fan theories in Young and Restless history. Some of the most outlandish theories include: Alan was a ghost. A few fans believe Alan was introduced as a supernatural character, perhaps a ghost from Nikki's past who was later cut because the storyline was too far-fetched for Young and Restless, usually grounded drama. Alan was a clone. Given that the Young and the Restless has dabbled in bizarre science fiction-esque plots, especially with Sheila Carter's plastic surgeries and stolen identities. Some speculate that Alan was meant to be a clone of another character, but the idea was scrapped before it could fully develop. Alan was an actor playing another role. A particularly wild theory suggests that Alan wasn't actually a character, but rather an actor who appeared in the background of multiple scenes as different characters, essentially an uncredited extra who developed an unintended cult following. As strange as these theories sound, they all highlight one thing. Alan's existence, or lack thereof, continues to haunt the minds of longtime Young and Restless fans. The truth may never be known, or is it still out there? So was Alan real? Was he part of a lost storyline that CBS tried to erase? Or is his existence merely a shared false memory among devoted soap opera fans? The lack of concrete evidence suggests that we may never truly know the answer. And yet, Alan's legend persists. Occasionally, old forum posts will resurface, hinting at forgotten details. Fans will continue to search through decades of episodes, hoping to spot a fleeting glimpse of him in the background of a scene. Perhaps Alan's greatest legacy is the mystery itself. Whether he was a forgotten character, a ghostly presence, or something even stranger, His story has become a bizarre piece of Young and the Restless history, one that may never be fully explained. Until then, the question remains, who was Alan, and why was he erased? Maybe, just maybe, the truth is out there, waiting for the right fan to uncover it. This article takes a deep dive into a fictional mystery, blending soap opera intrigue with a fun conspiracy-style narrative. Let me know if you'd like any changes. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our Update World 24 YouTube channel for more update news.